What's up guys, this is Daniel Bruce with Bruce Works. I'm super pumped today because we are unboxing our brand new Harvey Woodworking nickel plated bandsaw. I've seen this saw in person at their unveiling for the product at the Harvey headquarters. And this thing is absolutely amazing. This saw has like so many more features than my previous bandsaw that just make it way more usable. So I'm really excited about this one. So let's get this thing unboxed and hopefully moved across the city. We set up the Harvey Alpha 15 nickel-plated bandsaw, and I'm about to turn it on for the very first time. So let's get it. Here we go. Damn, it sounds really nice. Wow. Okay, so now that we got this thing set up, I want to walk over some of my favorite features with you guys. So I haven't been able to use this thing yet, so I really can't give it an honest review. But upon setting it up, I noticed a few different things that were light years ahead of my old bandsaw. So I want to show you guys. The very first thing is their roller guide, which is basically like a featherboard. And I haven't gotten to use this yet, but it's super cool. So it's universal. It fits in any table saw, bandsaw, or router table slot. And then you have two independent levers and you can put it at any angle. And if you set it at an angle and decide you want to move it slightly, it has this little knob that adjusts these independently at an angle, which is pretty cool. So you can like really dial in your featherboard. So I noticed that very first. The second thing I noticed, well, I guess the first thing I noticed, but this is the second thing I'm going to talk about, is the nickel plating. So I knew the nickel plating was on the table itself, and this just means that we could take, like me or one of the boys could take a Red Bull. We could take a Red Bull, open it, drink it, and then put it right here. And normally the condensation from the can would cause a rust ring, and you'd be scrubbing it off. You'd have to sand and do all this nonsense. Because this is nickel plated, you won't get any rust. So the bandsaw in everybody's wood shop is a very convenient place to place a drink. And in the past, like, woodworkers couldn't do that because you would, rust your tool. This no longer is the case. And then the other thing that's nickel plated that's super huge, because I'm in Louisiana where the humidity is near 100% year round, the nickel plating is on the inside components too, which is really sick. So we don't ever have to worry about this rusting. And on my last machine, I can tell you guys with absolute certainty that this was beginning to rust because of the super high humidity in Louisiana. So I noticed the nickel plating and was like super psyched on that. The next thing I noticed was the movability of the fence. My last fence was like real chunky and hard to move. I mean, this thing just glides. They have a silicone like ball on the end that runs on this plate, and it just makes for just a super smooth work fence experience. It's really nice. The other thing that I'm super stoked on, because my last one required tools, is if you guys come over here, the bandsaw blade guides are all adjustable by hand, and they're on a camber. And what that means is you can rotate it counterclockwise and make the bearing move away from the blade, or you can rotate it clockwise and make it move towards the blade. And then this little knob, there's one for every adjustability, but this little knob, you don't have to use an Allen wrench or a hex key. On my previous bandsaw, I had to get a wrench out every time, and it just made for the setup process a lot slower. I absolutely love this feature. This is super, super nice. The other feature that I like is the blade guides themselves. So on my previous bandsaw, my blade guides that came with it were little ceramic pieces, and I found that over time they just fell apart. I ended up having to order a new set of ceramic blade guides from the manufacturer, which broke like in under a month after I got them. And then I upgraded to some Carter bandsaw blade guides with ball bearings, which I later upgraded the ball bearings to some bone Swiss, which you guys may have seen in a previous video. So all the bearings that come with this, first of all, it comes with bearings, and then second of all, the bearings that it comes with are way beefy. So if you look at this one right here, this is almost double the size of the previous ball bearings, which is just really nice. It just makes for a much nicer usable experience. Another thing that I really like is the fact that I can tilt this table so we can crank it. So let me show you. So on my previous table, I would have to lift it by hand, but this one, it has a nice crank. And it even has a spring-loaded arm that I haven't installed yet, but it makes this even smoother. So I actually need to do that, and then I definitely could not do this with my old table saw. I could do it with the trunnions, but I couldn't just gradually turn it. I'm not sure what I'll end up needing this for, but I know that whenever I need it, I'll be glad I have it. This is a super, super cool feature. Really like that. So, just made our first cut with our Harvey Alpha nickel-plated bandsaw, and it works great. I'm really excited. I can't wait to start ripping more skateboards with this. So you guys stay tuned. We should be posting our first video of us actually ripping through some skateboards here in the next couple days. So shout out Harvey. I'm really excited for this brand new tool. Thank you guys so much. And if you are debating on buying my previous bandsaw or this one, I would absolutely 1000% recommend this one. It's a far superior machine. A lot of the features are more usable or user-friendly, and it's just nicer all around. So thank you, Harvey. I really can't wait to use this thing. Cheers.